Hello. Hi, Jill. How are you? How's my sound? Can you hear me? Hey, Alec. Oh, I'm still sick but feeling much better. Good. So you're on the mend. That's good. Hey, Phil. How are you all? Am I okay? Can you hear me? Yay, that's good. Are you excited to watch me cross stitch? Yay, good, good, good. Here's my gigantic cross stitch. So this pattern, let's see if I can show it. Actually, this might be better. One sec. This is the cross stitch. It's gigantic. I've been working on it since January 1st. And I just have this teeny tiny little corner left to do. And I thought I would do it on stream. So let's go back. Where are we? Like this. I don't have like an actual boom to make this camera directly over top of my piece, so it'll be interesting. I know it's been about like 4,000 stitches per month. Let me throw some stats out. I'm using an app called Pattern Keeper to stitch this. I don't have like a physical copy of the pattern, but I use this app, and so it tells me all kinds of fun stats. So this pattern has 47,789 stitches total. So in order to stitch it in a year, I had to stitch about 4,000 stitches per month. Root, it has your name in it. You root deep and reach skyward. This is a line from a poem, and so the whole pattern, the whole pattern is based upon a poem, and this is a line from that poem. But if you don't know, I have a thing for trees, so this really spoke to me, and I can't believe I'm almost done stitching it. Thanks for joining me, friends. Okay, let me put this over here. So there's just like 4 little stitches of this teal left to do. Oh. Can I ban you from within OBS? Oh. Root, you're a moderator. Excellent. How fortuitous. Thank you. Where's my floss? Okay, so the pattern is by Modern Folk Embroidery. Jacob de Graaf is a Dutch cross-stitch designer, and I have stitched a couple of his pieces, including this one. And then I'm stitching it with this floss. Oh, I can show it to you this way. Roxy Floss Co. They've actually been rebranded in the year since I purchased this floss from them for stitching. But the colors are called Brass Tacks, which is the brassy color, and The Whiz, which is this greeny, tealy green color. So we're going to grab some of this teal and finish up, I think, like 4 stitches that are left in this color. I love the colors too, Jill. Ooh, something else that I wanted to point out. Okay, before we get going, I'll probably talk a lot about this at the end too. The whole piece, rather, and the changes that I've made, but this central motif here is a gigantic tree of life. There was a, where is it? Pick. If I show you this, This is an additional pattern that I purchased that has 4 alternate trees. So I chose the bottom right tree. It's not the one that comes on the main pattern, but I have all 4 of these trees. I think the bottom left is the one that comes in the pattern when you just buy the regular pattern. So my plan is to stitch one of these, just the trees, each year for the next 3 years. So like in 2024, I'm going to pick one of these other 3 trees and stitch it. And then I'll have this gigantic main pattern framed on my wall for 2023. And then I'll have another tree for each year after that, hopefully. That's the goal. All right, let's get going. How was D&D, Jill? Did you guys win? How's everybody else doing? Is anybody on Christmas vacation yet, or December holiday vacation? I'm off for till January. Oh, were you DMing? That's good. Were you DMing while sick? Holy crap. That's dedication. All right, let's see. So we want to come out here. Gotta start a thread. I'll show you the back of this after too, Jill. Oh, you're still kind of on vacation, hey, Alec? Extended vacation. I'm very dedicated. DMing tomorrow, oh my God. I know you love seeing the back. I think a lot of people do, actually. And it's funny because a couple times recently I have seen, I don't know how close I can get, if you're actually really going to see me stitching or not, but a couple times recently I've been watching like, it's called Flosstube, by the way, YouTube videos about cross stitching, Flosstube. I've seen people and they're like showing their project. Great. They're showing their project and they'll be like, oh no, that's the back. And it's happened like several times. And it's just like, how could you accidentally show the back? Like, it's like you did that on purpose so that you could show how neat your back is, didn't you? Without like explicitly bragging about it. Which I think I talked about this last year because Jill, you asked me when I was doing Vlogmas, you asked me like to see the back and then if that was like a taboo thing, and humble brag. Oh, it's so similar to the front. I couldn't even tell that's what I was showing you. Whoopsie. Yeah. But a lot of people do really care about what the back of the project looks like, and wanting it to be neat. And to some degree that makes sense. I can talk about that more when I actually show you the back later. But also to some degree, it makes absolutely no sense because it's the back and nobody's ever going to see the back of the project. So who cares what it looks like back there, right? Second to last stitch of the whiz. I'm really worried that I'm going to screw this up because I'm trying to pay attention to streaming and stitching. Seeing the sketches of the piece. Yeah, like the back, the big thing about cross stitching, it's like, I know exactly where I'm putting all these things. Like that's what the pattern shows me. The creative part of cross stitch and where you can be clever is like planning which stitches to do and in what order and how to like most efficiently use your thread, etc. Recovering. Starting to work on some projects though. Good. Cool. Good luck with it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the time off that you do have. Okay, we're done the green stitches. I wonder how long this will take me. Scissors. Boop. Yeah. I'll give you a close-up of that. Put my needle right there. All right, so now, oof, I gotta do the rest of this little thing, this whole little thing, and then don't let me forget there's 2 little stitches up in here that I ran out of thread, and I was like, oh, I'm not starting a new thread just to do 2 stitches. So let's see how long it takes to do all of this. All right. We need a gold thread, a brass thread. Here's how I get them off. Just kind of like fish one out from in here. Whoa, this way. Pull it out. And I make it a little nicer again. My mom asked me for the link. I don't think she's watching though. If she is watching, I don't know if she's like got a Twitch account to comment with, but okay, so I need to change in this thing. Oh, actually, I got a lot of stitches that are not highlighted on here. You know what? I'm going to highlight the stitches because I can also tell you what % complete I am. So let's do that. Let's get up to speed. We're done this whole border. I kind of stopped. The border is like really easy, so I didn't need to look at this to do the border. So I wasn't really updating it. What does the pattern look like? Is it kind of a zoomed in view? Like on the app? I can show you in a sec. It's generally like bad form to show an entire pattern on stream or on video, but usually if you just show a very minute, like small portion of a 47,000 stitch pattern, that's not a big deal. No one could like replicate the pattern based on that. So I can show you some. Yeah, I can show you. I can show you a little. It's actually, I think, painfully obvious once you see the pattern. Okay, one sec. All right, so first of all, I'm currently 99.55% complete. So let me see if I can show you this. So the stuff that's in color is stuff that I've already stitched, right? At the very bottom, Skyward. And when I've done it, it colors in to the color that it's supposed to be. But then you can see down here, these are a bunch of stitches that I haven't stitched yet. I've actually got the green color selected, so I'm going to try and... Okay, so I'm changing to brass. Now, these are all highlighted. This is like the color of floss that I'm working with right now. And so now I know like this is what I need to be stitching. So this is what it's going to look like over here. And those are the 2 little stitches that I said I still need to do up there. So do you see? Does it make sense? Can you see it? You just like map it right onto your fabric. I think I'm going to start with these 2 little stitches so that I don't friggin' forget them. So that's something that I would do, I think. All right, so, oh, there's even a little half stitch here that I didn't do. That's so annoying when you like reach the end of something and your thread is just like not quite long enough to finish the thing. Okay. think this will take, oh God, it might take like 2 hours. I don't know. I think I missed parts of the explanation because of 7. 7. How does the app know what stitches you did? Okay, so this pattern that I purchased comes with a PDF that is readable by this app. So I upload the PDF to the app and it just knows all of the stitches and it's all good to go. I upload it here and it looks like this. So now I'm about to do these 2 little stitches. Once I've done them, let's imagine that I've done them. I switch to this mode. So over here, I'm like moving around, right? Over here, I'm now selecting things that I've done. So I can highlight these 2 stitches. And if I want to say that I've finished them, I just hit this little check mark. And now they turn brassy colored. Yeah. Okay. Now I have to do those stitches immediately or I'm going to forget. Where were they? Like this. Let me know if I'm like getting out of view or anything, but I think it's okay. I've never done anything like this on stream before, so you can sort of finger drag over large swatches. Yeah, exactly. I should have shown you what I just did because I kind of did that. Most of the time I'm doing it as I go, like every row or every few stitches so that I can keep track of what I've already done. But when I did this border, like all along the bottom, I didn't keep up with that because I just like knew exactly where it was going to go. So what I just did a second ago is I like marked off all of those green stitches that I had done since the last time I opened this app, which had been like a week or so because I was just doing border for like about a week on this bottom portion. So yeah, let me know if you have any more questions. This is fun. I started it at midnight on January 1st last year, or this year, I guess. Last January 1st. Okay, so normally I go in up and down rows. So let's start with this little bottom square. Part of me wants to do this portion first and then finish with this because this is like the end of the pattern, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this one first. Oh, I messed up. Okay. This is hand dyed thread. Frogging. How many stitches make a square? So a square is kind of considered one stitch. So can you see these 2 little half stitches I've done right here? They're like just diagonal lines. Those are each called a half stitch. 1 X is a full stitch. So 1 stitch is typically known of as a cross, but that's like going out of and into the fabric twice in an X shape. Or you might say a cross stitch. So you just go like, I go up from the bottom left, down into the top right, up from the bottom right, down into the top left, and that creates my X. That's how I do it. I'm also doing something right now that's called stitching in hand. So I don't have like an embroidery hoop or a frame or anything. I'm just holding the fabric in my hand. A lot of people prefer stitching this way and stitch this way all the time. I usually have a hoop or a frame of some kind, but because I'm at the very bottom of my fabric here, there's not a lot of material for like the frame to grip onto, so I'm just stitching it in hand for now till the end. I wish I could stitch with my feet, then I could stitch two things at once maybe. That would be so much more productive. Third time's the charm. Hello. Hello. Third time. The charm. There we go. Better? Still a delay, but the normal kind of delay, the kind of delay that you would expect. This is much more stressful than normal stitching. Good. Tell me about your cozy holiday plans. Neil and I are gonna hang out in our house together for the most part. Nice. Oh, okay. Is that the aunt whose table you got? She just wants to eat at her table again. I know. She'll be like, is this my house? She may say that. Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna hang out here. And we're gonna like clean everything in our house. All of the cluttered spaces will be uncluttered by the time this holiday is over. I used to have one like this. This is the one you had. This was your one like this. Ugh, dementia. It's a good table, though. I'm sure she'll be glad that you're making use of it. Yeah. Oh, I got a knot in the back. Here we go. Yeah, my Xmas plans are a lot of hanging around here. We're gonna go visit my parents in New Brunswick for a couple days, like after Christmas. And then they're gonna come here. They might stay all the way till New Year's, because I told my mom that I was gonna be like cross-stitching all day on New Year's Eve. And I think they haven't said for sure that they're staying, but I think they're gonna. And mom wants to stay. My dad has been doing a little bit of diamond painting. Hey, Sloppy Pecan Pie has followed. I don't have follow notifications set up, but I can see that, so thank you. Is that... I know you, right? I don't want to, like, dox you on stream, but... Do I know you? Yay! Hey, Mo! How's it going? Mo does some cross stitching. I have seen your cross stitches. And Jill, you know Mo, I think. Yes, Mo's pretty awesome. I agree. Ah, dropped my needle. Dropping your needle when it's connected to a thread is not that bad. When it's not connected to a thread, it's worse. Yeah. Maybe you'll have some time soon. Well, yeah, exactly. When I drop them loose, I just get totally freaked out that one of the cats is going to find it and, like, just decide to eat it. Which I don't know if they would do that, but, like, that would be a really bad idea. Yeah, I know, right? Earlier today, we gave Lady a bath. And she was not a fan of that at all. But she's been shedding like crazy. If it was attached to the thread. Right? If it's I don't know, man. If the thread was attached and they ate it and you pulled it out. Anyways, this is getting dark. My needles are fine. They're not lost, and the cats are not going to choke on them. But yeah, Lady, she's been shedding a lot for some reason lately. So I thought I would give her a bath to like dislodge whatever extra hairs were there. And she was sad about it. Neil had to like hold her. It was a 2-person job. Have you guys ever given Rydia a bath, Jill? I wonder if we talked about this. She hates them. Yeah. But she loves the kiddie pool, right? Doesn't make any sense. Although, I mean, it is different. I don't fill up the tub, though. Because I feel like if I fill up the tub and she tries to escape, that's just like water chaos in the bathroom. Yeah. Towel to the tub. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good idea. Maybe we will try that too. Let me know how it goes. Yeah. I was reading online, like when I was reading about her like losing so much hair, and one of the suggestions was a bath, and they were saying that you should bathe your dogs every like 6 weeks or something. And I was like, oh, we've had her since July and have never given her a bath. She's a very clean dog. I don't know. She like grooms herself a lot, and we brush her. Ah, wipes. Like a long time or like frequently? That's like like highly frequent. Yeah. Man, I need to clean her teeth more. She didn't mind that. She lets me clip her nails. Most things she's just like, cool, do whatever you need to do. She lets me brush her for as long as I want. But for some reason, there's this like fight or flight reaction to baths. And it's like, do we really need to bathe them? Like, cats, you don't need to bathe. And Lady, like, cleans herself. I see her grooming herself all the time. And she's white, so we would know if she was really dirty, right? She could see it. Here. What's this? Uh-oh. Is there a delay again? Jill, I just got a Discord message from you saying there's a delay. So is that from before or is it new? Or, yeah. Oh, never mind. You sent it to me 12 minutes ago, and my phone just now decided to let me know. Cool. Okay. One more diagonal. So the planning of where to go next is important in cross stitch, and also just like counting, which seems really easy, but I think that doing cross stitch is a really great way to figure out how hard counting is. Yeah. I've also noticed it on YouTube. Like I have a YouTube channel for my cross stitch stuff. And I'll be like on YouTube all day long, but sometimes like 2 days later it will notify me of some comment that somebody made, and it's like, I really want to know about those immediately if you could manage it. And like, why is it? Because Discord on the computer, it's not Discord, right? Like Discord notifies me immediately. Although I have Discord open right now on my computer, and maybe it's showed me an unread message. I'm also on Do Not Disturb, so it doesn't like give me notifications on my laptop. Because that was annoying, so I turned it off. Oops. I think if I had a better, like a boom or something for my camera so that I could sit back in my chair, I could totally stream more often. If there's people chatting, it's fun. Otherwise, I watch YouTube videos or TV shows or listen to podcasts or listen to audiobooks while I'm stitching. I need to find some good like royalty-free music that I could play on stream. I think that's important. Or I mean, I like it, so. Okay, we go there. And then I'm just gonna mark some stuff off. Boop, boop. So this is my year-long project that I was working on a little bit every month. Just wanted to give a bit of a shout out also to Jill, who also had a year-long project this year that she recently finished, and that was reading War and Peace. So congratulations on being done that, Jill. Read a little bit every day, a chapter a day. It was long. Yes. Yeah. Good question. Right. It's a lot of chapters. I liked the piece better. Did anyone see that Napoleon movie? I didn't go, but Neil went with Isaac. Not Napoleon Dynamite. Is it just called Napoleon? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do too. Neil said it was fine. He wasn't like amazed by it. Ooh, that might be interesting. No. But you would be like particularly well suited to review the movie, maybe. I guess it focuses. I mean, I don't know much about War and Peace. So, like, does it focus on? I don't know. This movie, I guess, focuses a lot on like Napoleon's personal relationships and like how kind of messed up they were. Because he was kind of messed up, I guess. Yeah. How many books did you read total this year, Jill? I got my 10-book goal. 99. You do a lot of audiobooks, eh? Not War and Peace, though. You read that one with your eyeballs, didn't you? Right now I'm War and Peace with eyeballs. Right now I'm reading the second book in the Expanse series, Caliban's War. But that's been on hold a little bit because I've also started rereading Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So I am partway through that. The old-fashioned way. Yeah, and I'm reading... I gotta show you. Hold on. So the copy of Frankenstein that I have is in this Norton's Anthology of English Literature that I got in first year English in university. And it's like a thick book. And the pages are like, you know, like Bible pages. They're like thin. Yeah. Check out my bookmark. One sec. Actually, I wasn't using it right. You're supposed to put this in between two pages, right? This was my previous bookmark, which I still have in here because it marks like the end of the book and where I currently am. Anyways, Jill 3D printed me this. It's a sword bookmark. Oh my god, I can't. Here. Anyway, so I'm on chapter 3 of Frankenstein. This tome It's hefty. It's like your workout and your reading at the same time. But yeah, I want to finish Frankenstein, then I want to get back to The Expanse. And because I still haven't read the last 2 books in The Expanse. And I really want to get there. All right. Starting a new thread. Here. The name of the tome is The Norton Anthology of English Literature. 7th edition, volume 2. I do not also have volume 1. We only needed volume 2 for first year English in university. So I have my PhD is in psychology, and a lot of people, when they do psychology, they take a Bachelor of Science to get there. But I actually took a Bachelor of Arts because you can get into an MSc either way. And so I got to take, I think everybody gets to take first year English, but I got to take a few cool English classes in my undergrad. One of them was called Fictions of Development, which is about like coming of age novels. So we read Jane Eyre and what's that one with Holden and the Hat? You know what I mean? Catcher in the Rye. Things like that. I took a sociology course called Goblins, Ghosts, Gods, and Gurus, which was also very cool. Yeah, it was awesome. That one, my final paper for the class was about lucid dreaming. It is fascinating. It's actually something you can practice. I don't, but it takes a bit of work. Okay. Doctor. That's a good one. Ooh. We're getting there. Almost, well, I guess halfway through this little square rectangle. We'll go down this way now. What breed of dog wouldn't be a doctor? Nice one. Bet you all thought this was going to take like 15 minutes when I showed you how much I had left. This is on 20 count Ada, which probably doesn't mean a lot except for maybe to mow. But it's a fairly small size of stitch. which I like. Oh, that's good to know, right? Mom, look! Oh my god. What's he making? I don't think we have any plans for food for tonight yet. Meal's going out though. Chopped sandwiches. I don't think I really know what that is. Get in. Hey, AmbiQuest, thank you for following. I don't have my follow notifications on, but I just saw that pop up on my screen, so thank you. Put all your sandwich insides on the chopping board. Chop it all up into a filling. Oh, interesting. Does that like cut down on chewing time? Distributes the flavors more evenly throughout the sandwich. I like it. You're like, yes, you know the benefits of the chopped salad method. Oh, it's a TikTok trend. I haven't seen that. Salad witch. Makes sense. See, I would just like eat it as a salad to avoid the bread carbs. Oh, yeah. You may also drop some out because it's like, yeah. But then if you're just like leaning over your plate, then you can just like pick it up with a fork and it's not like just a piece of lettuce. It's a nice like mouthful of things. I miss the risk. Yeah, what's the fun in a sandwich if you're not like worried about how much of it's going to fall out that you're not going to be able to eat? Yeah, thank you. This is working out pretty good. Hey, you can like see what I'm doing. Imagine if I had a stand here and my hand wasn't moving the fabric around, which would be the case if I were to do this usually. Oops. So we want to go down to here. Are you doing any arts or anything, Jill? Remember you saying you were gonna arts and craft along with me. I know you're not feeling super well, so maybe you're just chilling. Oh. Oh, what? Hey, I have something here that you did. Can I show it? Check out this thingy that Jill made for me. What? This is us as D&D characters hanging out and having a good time. That one's me as a druid. That's Jill as a bard. It's pretty awesome. That's on my desk. Aww. Oh. Can you guys see all the animal hair on my cross stitch project? I hope not. All right, we are almost on this little corner. Go this way. Aww. Jill just sent me the sketch. Went by way faster. Yeah, I know, it's already been an hour. I told you, my estimate was 2 hours. That might be a little low. Or approximately correct. It depends on how focused I am. Because I spent some of the hour like frigging around with my stream. But if you think about it, it's not, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind, obviously. I've spent like countless hours of my life doing this, so the progress is fine for me. But for some people, like, this isn't even a square inch. Maybe it's about a square inch of stitching, and it's taken me an hour. And this isn't even like the most tedious small project that I have. I think Ragnarok fills that category. Because I'm stitching that one on like 28 count over one, so it is very tiny. But it will still be a massive size when it's done because it's a lot of stitches. Oh, and Jill, I know that Jill watched my video where I was preparing for, hold on, where I was preparing for that new project that I'm going to start. The colorful stitching shelf one. I realized that I didn't give these details in that video. So this pattern that I'm doing here is 47,700 and something stitches, right? That stitching shelf piece is 375,550 stitches. It's gonna be massive. I did the math on like how long it would take me if I did 4,000 stitches per month, because that's something that I now know I can do. And yes, Mo, like, it is literally going to take a decade if I do 4,000 stitches per month, which, to be honest, at least for the next year, I'm not intending to do on that piece. I'm gonna do 4,000 stitches on a different, my Needs No Paint horsey one. And that is going to get that one done next year. So it's probably going to take like 8 or 9 years. A lifetime achievement goal. Yeah. Because I don't just stitch one thing. I've got a few things going, right? So if you stitched one thing, it would still take you years to finish. But finishing this one, which was huge compared to what I've done before, like, the satisfaction is really strong. It's like, look what I did. Look at all these stitches. I did all of them. Every single one. It's like you remember, like, what was happening when you were stitching, like, different parts of it. So it's sort of like a memory thing. Oh, thanks, Jill. All right, I'm now 99.78% complete. Let's move over to this little section. I love how supportive. Everybody who's here is supportive. Jill in particular, though, watches like every single one of my YouTube videos, and not only that. Oh no, she's leaving. I'll wait. She comments on like every single one of my videos. And she does not cross stitch. Oh, Mo, I've seen that. I must have started 2 years ago. So the thing about that Pokemon piece, you know what? It's similar to the reason that I decided to stitch this. I wonder if I can get a picture. One sec. I'm gonna get a picture of the piece that I'm talking about. Anyways, that Pokemon piece, I have seen it as well, and the thing that would make it easier to stitch than many pieces, like similar pieces, is that there's a whole lot going on. So even though the whole piece actually takes a million years, you're finishing up little Pokemon like all the time. Like you're getting a new little Pokemon finish every single time. So I think it would be, really fun. Where did this go? Nope, I didn't do it right. Properties. A stitching shelf. Open. Cool. Done. Now I make it visible. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to make it really big. That's a good point. Like a million little projects. Exactly. So I feel like it's a little more satisfying. Like here, I'm going to start here, and there's all these little flowers which will automatically be visible. A lot of full coverage cross stitches like this, it's like something really awesome in the very middle, but then the outside is like tens of thousands of black cross stitches. And I'm just like, no, I can't. But this is like a whole bunch of little finishes all in one. And it's all different colors. So I'm going to stitch it from like the top down, but from left to right, so that I'll always be swapping between the different colors sections. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to start it on New Year's Eve. She has a bunch of different, so the artist is Amy Stewart, and that chart is by Heaven and Earth Designs, which if you haven't like heard of it before, is a really great source. All of their patterns are like full coverage, like just images and art converted into cross stitch. Yes, I will for sure. I will for sure, Mo. But yeah, there's like thousands of charts on that website. But Amy Stewart is fairly popular because her art is really fun to stitch and is very colorful. But she has all these shelves. So that was the stitching shelf. There was a bunch of like stitching ladies on it, right? As well as a bunch of other things. But she's got like a stitching or a library. One that's like books. And there's one that's like, I don't know, fantasy shelf. There's all these different charts that are the same. It's like these bands. And it's 4 different bands, and they're meant to be like themed according to seasons. So like the coloring is a bit like the 4 seasons. Anyways, really cool stuff. But they're massive, massive charts. Although a lot of her shelf charts, you can get like minis that are just a section of the full chart. So it would still be a lot of stitching, but not nearly as much as the full thing. So I know like in the book themed one, like the library themed one, there's a like romance section. So you can stitch like just the romance section, or you can just stitch just the fantasy section or whatever. Okay. What kind of projects do you have on the go right now, Mo? I know you said you hadn't had much time for stitching, but do you have any like projects that you're working on? Do you just do one at a time mostly, or are you like me and can't stop starting different things? Starting to get little knots in my thread. I was watching like Survivor the other day, and one of the challenges they had to untie knots, and I was like, I would be so good at that. I have a lot of practice untying knots, like finicky little, tiny little knots. Oh, yes, nice. Yeah, that makes sense. Having like one big one and then some smaller things to like cleanse your palette a bit or work on when you're not feeling on doing that big one. Nice. Your horror movie one, did you get it from the Witchy Stitcher? She's got a lot of good horror movie ones. I feel like you might know the Witchy Stitcher because I think I saw one that you gave to Jason and Katie that looked like it was by her. Or at least it looks similar to one that I've seen that she did. thread soon. Oh, nice. Candy cane. Oh, thanks, Neil. I'll take that into consideration. Maybe I'll stitch it again from the bottom to the top. Actually, you're totally right. Did I say that to you one time? I was like, it seems weird that I'm stitching this from the top because you root deep and then reach skyward. You don't go from the top down. Although the roots go from the ground down. And that's the first step. So, checkmate. Touché. Neil has been seeing this slow progress on this all year long. And listened to my wavering about whether or not I should do it last year before I decided to do it in the first place. He listens to a lot of my crafty thoughts. How to survive a horror moment. By the Witchy Stitcher, yay! She's awesome. I love Witchy Stitcher. I just did one from her Home is Where the Horror Is. It's really cute. Hold on, let me get a picture of that one. Here it is. This is not the one that I stitched, but it's from her pattern. So cute. Yes, she is really good. There's one that's like, yeah, it's so cool. There's also a horror sweet horror that's like this. It's got another house, like not the Psycho house, but a different horror movie house. And it says horror sweet horror. And she's got a pattern that says, we are the granddaughters of the witches you could not burn. And I'm like, ooh, that's cool. She's got a lot of good patterns. Oh, my Leshy. Oh, let me show you Leshy. I'm never going to finish this cross stitch. Where is Leshy? Uh-oh. Where is Leshy? A minute. You can look it up, Leshy Guardian of the Woods, but I want to show it to you. Oh, hi, Jill. I hope you said hi to your mom for me. I can't find my picture of Leshy. What the heck? Is it under like Guardian of the Woods? No. Oh, I know where it might be. Ha! I found it. Here. Let's make it a bit smaller. This is so cool. Of course I did. So yeah, I love this one. All right, back to business. Go. Yeah, it's awesome. We We should do a stitch along, Mo. Sal. Stitch together. We can message each other and say, like, how far did you get? I started that one. Jill, remember we were watching a scary movie around Halloween weekend? That's when I started Leshy while we were watching that. Yes, that was the movie. Yeah, right? I've been thinking too, like a couple times when I was living out on Aberdeen, or maybe once only, I had like a Stitch and Bitch, like little thingy at my house where I think you were there, came over and like just did crafting. I feel like it was you, Katie, and Kim's. Were you there? Am I misremembering? I think you were. At that time, I was mostly just knitting. Which I also still do. Yeah, I think so. I think you were. And we had like fancy drinks or something. It was a long time ago. Okay, I'm going to start a new thread. This is getting... I try to use like every last little bit of thread, but sometimes you just gotta start a new one. Right. Okay, say to Kate. Thread chicken. Yes, I know. It's a risky game. The stream started with a story of me losing a game of thread chicken on that little that little area where I had to put those 2 stitches from before. I just left it. I was like, I'll get it next time. But it is actually risky. Like so it was like there was 2 little stitches up here that I hadn't finished. And it's like you could so totally just forget to do them, and then you frame the piece and come back to it and look at it, and one day you're like, oh no, I missed something. It's too late to do it again. Okay. I think it was right here. Is that right? Yes. Okay. The cool thing about this pattern, but also the thing that makes it more time consuming than a normal like sampler style pattern, is that most of it is like negative space stitching. So you can see here I haven't stitched the white, I've stitched the brass. Normally this like flower motif, you would be stitching the flower, not the negative space around it. And that is true here in the middle as well, right? Like normally you would be stitching these berries and the leaves and stuff, and the background would just be fabric. But this pattern is like negative space. A lot of it is negative space, not all of it, right? Like over on the sides here, these are like more standard, right? You're actually stitching the motif and not the negative space. But yeah, it's a little more time consuming to have to stitch. You're basically stitching the background instead of the foreground. Yeah, it's cool. It gives it a different look for sure. Like it's part of what makes it unique. And Modern Folk Embroidery does that a lot, I find. Or I've seen that a lot in his patterns. It's not exclusively that, but... got another yearly stitch along pattern released for next year already, for 2024. And it's awesome, but I decided not to do it again. Doing this made me realize like how much I can get done if I really focus on something. So I was doing 4,000 stitches a month on this all year this year. So what am I doing? Here we go. Yes. Sorry. So I know that I can do that many stitches a month on something. So I'm picking another project that I have that's big. It's a full coverage piece. And I'm going to do 4,000 stitches a month on that next year, and that will allow me to finish it. So I'm going to kind of keep doing that. I think like every year or whenever I finish a big piece, I'll pick a new big piece to be like the one that I'm going to focus on. Because I don't have trouble getting done the smaller ones. I did like a whole bunch of little Christmas ornaments and stuff this year. If they're small, like I don't have trouble finishing them really. Okay, we did that. Do this. Okay, doke. Yeah. Good idea, Jill. Like, reading books is great too. But you don't need to read like 99 books again, right? Wait, did you really? You should probably read. You said 99, right? Don't you think you should read one more book before the end of the year, and that's it? No more, no less than one more book. That's what our lizard brains want. Jill, stop. I'll immediately stop. All of them except for one until January 1st, and then you can pick up the other 7. Yes, exactly. Oh yeah, exactly. And then like in January you can be like, I read 16 books. But really you just read the last chapter of a bunch of books. Okay, we're getting there. Yeah, that makes sense. And you're all like refreshed after the new year, and I don't know, it's that time of year where people are like, I'm gonna do the things, and then they can do them in January because it's like a new motivation. Does anybody have any New Year's resolutions they've got lined up? Do you do that kind of thing? Your New Year's resolution is to make a list of New Year's resolutions, but that you don't actually have to do them. Yeah, I always like, oh, I'm going to do all this tracking of my habits. And I mean, it's not only at New Year's that I do that, but I have these little spurts of like, I'm going to start tracking all my stuff. It doesn't usually last very long. I have been doing pretty good though. I've got this new Notion template for tracking cross stitch stuff, and I got it at the beginning of December, or just a little, pretty much right at the beginning of December, I think. And I put all my cross stitch stuff in it, and I have been tracking stuff. I'll make a video about it soon. But yeah, I have been, you don't have to like track your progress in it. Definitely want to do more crafting. Yeah, you know what, Mo? I wanted to learn thread painting specifically. Jill mentioned that to me one time. And I've also never learned embroidery. And I would like to do those things too. It's like all the thread arts. And you can do some, really interesting things with embroidery that you can't do with cross stitch. And there's some fancy stitches from embroidery that I do know. Like I know how to do French knots and things already, so I think I could do it. But yeah, I saw somebody doing some thread painting based on like a photograph that they had taken. And it was really cool. It looked really cool. Okie dokie. Almost done. I'm going to take a little break for some tea. Put this here so you can see it. A million stitches in it. Oh, cool. Yeah. So learn to like look at a picture and think like, oh, this stitch would represent that texture well or something. And then colors as well. Yeah. Yeah, it would be so cool. Okay, let's update our progress here. 99.89% complete. So I think, how will I do this? Yeah, okay. And then end the stream. It's actually like, it's cool. I'm really excited that I'm almost done, but it's also like actually kind of sad. Like I won't be able to work on this anymore. And I love working on it. But it'll be done and I'll be able to look at it all the time. And like I said, I've got those alternate tree patterns that I can work on for the next little while. You can fill the borders with black. Just stitch the whole thing. Total full coverage. Yeah. No, I have other things. I'm excited to work on, so it's like bittersweet though. You know? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When I started this last year, I was using 1 second a day, and I still have 1 second a day, and I fill it in every now and then, but I don't consistently take a picture of this every single day that I work on it anymore. I wish I had, but I have like a pretty good time lapse from the year of me stitching this. It gets more chunky towards the end of the year when I was kind of just taking a picture after finishing each of the monthly chunks. Did I stitch this in the wrong spot? No, I didn't. Hi there, Yacilium. How are you? Nice to see you. Are you a cross stitcher or a crafter? Did I pronounce your name properly? I'm just finishing up this piece. I've just got this little section left. Once I'm done, I'll show you the whole piece. I'll talk about it a little bit more. Getting there. I actually had to like slow down my progress on this. If I had just stitched on it the way I was, I would have been done at the beginning of the week. But I wanted to memorialize the last stitches. So I'm glad I did this because it made me like figure out how to stream. Just something, you know, there's a lot of people who are streaming crafting things. I've streamed some video games before, which is a little bit easier from a camera perspective, but this is working all right. It could be better, but it could be worse. All right. Good. I'm glad you feel like you can see, because I think ideally you would be a little bit closer, but if you feel like you can see, then that's good. Like, I am much closer to this piece. Any closer and the needle would be too close to our faces. Be poking your eye out. Or like accidentally knocking the camera. That wouldn't be good either. But yeah, it was a bit dodgy yesterday. I went out and bought a second webcam. And then I like spent an hour or two trying to get OBS to recognize the two cameras. It was like, why do you need these two cameras? Can't you just use one or the other? Yeah. It's working though. Oops. I got my overlay template for Canva. I modified it a little bit to fit my purposes. Yeah. Jill and I did College of Lore, / still do, although not very often. We've got like a little role-playing game stream / YouTube channel. But that was like easy for me because whenever I wanted something or whenever we needed something artsy done, graphic design, Jill would just do it because she's all artistic. Ooh, sure, yeah. What's the Kickstarter? forgot a little piece. I gotta go back up here. So it would be like this. New TTRPG called Shadow Dark. Cool. Pretty old school, but super simple. We could run a quick game of it. Oh, yeah, sure. That sounds fun, Jill. Do you know when it's supposed to come in? Early January, good. Not very many stitches left, you guys. Yeah, let me know. Hopefully you do. I may need another thread. This is what Mo and I were talking about with the thread chicken. So I've got like this much thread left. And I just need to go here. Can I do it? Will there be enough? Or will I have to thread a whole new piece of thread for like 2 stitches? Where your character can die pretty fast, but you can roll a new one. Okay. Morkborg vibes. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I like that. I think I like systems like that because... Yeah, exactly. What am I trying to say? I feel like you can have better role playing when the assumption is that your characters are mortal. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're less likely to be like, oh no, I can't do that. My character's gonna die. It's like, you're a hero. Please be brave. Push the button. Yeah. Like, it's pretend. That's why we do it. It's so we can push the button. Like, we don't push the button in real life. The whole purpose of playing RPGs is to push the button. And to create fun stories together with your friends. And to murder things. Alec, have you been playing any RPGs? I'm gonna need a new frickin' thread. Yeah, exactly. Thinking up like an entire backstory, etc., right? I asked if Alec had been playing any RPGs, Jill. Baldur's Gate 3, nice. Jill, you played some of that. I did not buy it. Yeah, well, it's kind of why I didn't buy it, to be honest. Look, I have a lot of stitching to do, alright? Can't be playing video games. Oh my god, I am gonna need a new thread. I do want to play it, but I think I'm willing to wait until it's cheap. Is it? Yeah. By the end of the year. I also really want to get City Skylines 2. That's something that I can't stop thinking about. Is Baldur's Gate something with like replay value, do you think? Or like once you've gone through the story, does that ruin it? Like, would you have you played it multiple times through with like different classes or something, or not? There's 6 stitches left. I need a new thread. Oh, it has like 6 playthroughs. Arnell has 6 playthroughs. U4 and City Skylines, tried CS2, and he was very unimpressed. Interesting. Why? I've heard a few streamers I follow say they're excited to replay it. Yeah, I am a rereader / rewatcher. I definitely am. I watched Firefly like I don't even know how many times. I used to just put it on. Proved over the first seemed to leave out some stuff he liked and also doesn't have mod support. Yeah, I know about the mod support stuff, but my impression was that a lot of the stuff that I was using mods for in City Skylines, they have incorporated into the base game now, like traffic control especially. I rewatched more than watch new stuff. Yeah. I'm kind of like that because it's like, I know that I like this. It's like when you order the same food at a restaurant every time you go, right? It's like, this is good for sure. This other thing, who knows what that's going to be like, right? Why would I risk watching something that's like not going to be awesome when I know that I love this thing? The same food every time. Well, this, I guess food is different than fiction for you. Oh my gosh. Do you guys want to do the slowest countdown ever? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. I think there's 4 stitches left. Let me double check. 1, 2. Okay, so we're going to do a super slow countdown. 4. 3. 2. Oh my god. Second leg of the 2 and 1. Oh my god. It's my last stitch. Okay. Then we tie it off in the back. Woo! Party time! Pew. Okay, let me get the snippers. Ta-da! All done. We reached the sky. Woo. This is where I started. This was the first stitch. This was the last stitch, right there. Little baby stitch all grown up. Let's go over here. Yay! Thank you for the congrats, Boo Boo Kitty. Always happy to have people lurking. All done, look, yay! It's finite. And yes, welcome, welcome. All done. All right. So let's do some chatting about it. That AmbiQuest, did I say thank you to AmbiQuest for following? I can't remember. A couple people followed. Anyways. Okay. Oh, a back sneak peek. Do you want to do the back first? Jill really likes seeing the back. Let's do some back stuff. So here's the back. From a distance, I think it looks pretty good. Let's go all the way down. Right. So let me bring you close up a little bit. I'll show you some stuff that I think some people might not do, but I decided to do. So, like right here, you can see how sometimes my threads, I drag them, I drag them along the back a little bit, like here and here and here and over here. That's like frowned upon, especially in like open space like this, because there's a chance that you'd be able to see it through the fabric on the front. So a lot of people don't like that, but it's annoying to not have those, because then you have to like end your thread. Oh, here's a little thread I need to cut off. Okay, here's an example of ones where I didn't drag it here and here. It's just annoying because you have to like, I try not to drag, but sometimes I just want to stop. Exactly. So yeah, you would just like start it in the little spot and stop it and like tuck all the threads right into the little thing, which is fine when it's a big piece. Like even this is a little bit bigger. But I just find like ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? I just want to keep stitching. So sometimes I drag it around the back. Sometimes I don't. Like it just depends on what kind of a mood I'm in. Okay, so let me tell you some things about this pattern that I don't always say. And if this is your first time watching me talk about this piece, then you'll never have heard me say it. So this pattern was interesting because I talked earlier about how the tree medallion in the center, the pattern that I bought came with a version of this, but then you could also buy an alternate trees Yeah, exactly. We were gonna get back. Mind your own business. So there's actually 4 different trees. You have to get a separate pattern, like purchase an additional pattern to get the extra trees. But when I saw that one and I saw this tree, I was like, oh, that's my favorite tree. So I had to get that. But now I've got the 4 other ones and I do plan on stitching those. But I chose this one to be in my center medallion. But the pattern had choices in it for almost every aspect of this piece. There was 2 different versions in the pattern. So as an example, these little deer, they could have been swans. And there was different trees up here, and these were different as well. And the pattern in all of the pillars was different, and the pattern in the border was different. So there was 2 versions of everything, and you could choose whichever one you wanted every time you came to a new thing. So that's really cool because there's a lot of people who stitched this piece, but they all kind of look different. Creative within the choices they made. Exactly. Everyone's is going to be a little bit different. I did a couple things that were different even beyond the choices that were put in the pattern. So here you can see I've got some initials. So I decided to make this sort of a family tree piece. So in the pattern, these are not letters that you're meant to replace with your own family's initials. They're like other little motifs. I think they're like this. So they would be other little snowflakes. So on this side, it's my dad's parents, Harley and Mona Thompson. And over here, it's my mom's parents, Geneva and Raymond Babineau. When I decided to do this at the beginning of the year, I was telling you, this is going to be sad. It's a little sad. Warning. That you can like remember things that were happening at the time when you were stitching it. And I remember when I was up here working at the top, like getting started on this piece, my mom's mom, my mémère grandmother, passed away. And that's like almost a year ago at the end of January. And so I was like just getting started on this piece. And that's when I decided like it's got to be a family tree. And I decided to put those initials in there too. So I've got my grandparents up here, and then I've got my mom and my dad down here. So dad and mom, Brian and Andrea. And I also put my initials here in this tree. Yeah, thank you. His choices. Yeah. So he, like, the guy who designed this really designed like 2 entirely different patterns and 4 different trees. That's crazy. Yeah, and I added Root's name here, obviously, as you can see. It's like the main reason I picked the entire pattern from the beginning is because it reminded me of my friend Root, right? But yeah, I've got my initials here in the very middle. So this was not charted to have initials here, but I figured if I had my whole family initials there, I should put mine as well. And that was the spot that made the most sense to me. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's all I have to say about this piece. Those are all the special things. There's definitely some little mistakes in this that I decided to leave in. I can try and find some of those and show you. All right, the first one that I know of is right here. Ooh, I'm really bad at like orienting this the way it needs to be. Okay. Okay, so this little band right here, there's a mistake in it. So you can see this is correct. Let's get a little closer. This little blank diagonal space is correct. And maybe you can see that this one looks a little thicker than this one. It's because I messed up here. So this is a mistake. But I just like kept stitching this and like ignored what was over here, and I just left it. There's some mistakes. There's a mistake in the tree section. Can you see how this is messed up? This should be the same as this, but it's not. No, I know you would never have noticed. That's why I left it in. was another mistake up here somewhere in the tree. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll come back. This little leaf should be a 1 stitch pointier. See? So there's these little mistakes, but I actually like, well, first of all, when you notice it and you've been stitching forever, it's like, I'm not going back to take that out. But I also like kind of like them. My mom calls them Waldos. It's like, where's Waldo, right? So they're like uniquenesses about my stitching. And if you could really notice it and it looked like, you know, if the border was totally messed up or something, I would fix that. The last one is unforgivable. I would fix that, but you can't notice them unless I point them out. I thought that this one might be noticeable because it kind of messes up the centering of the band, but I don't think it's noticeable. Yeah, exactly. Oh, another thing, I don't know if I want to fix this or not. I don't think I do, but I felt like this initial maybe could have been brought down a little bit, like it doesn't look totally centered. But I also don't like, my eye's not like drawn to it when I'm looking at it, so yeah. So now I'm trying to decide how I want to get this framed, if I want to try and frame it myself, or if I want to bring it somewhere to get it framed, but that'll be a decision for later. Oh, good. Cool. Or slightly higher. Yeah, so you thought that it like balanced it out? But that's the thing, is like everything else is perfectly symmetrical. So, but it doesn't bother me. This bottom part was so fun to stitch. Something that was kind of annoying at first is there's a lot of counting up here because there's like kind of big spaces in between a lot of these bits. So that was like a little bit harder to do than down here where it's like big and chunky and everything is like close together. There we go. Reaching Skyward. It's almost 2024. That was another thing that I was like, I don't know how I feel about this yearly stitch along, because I remember in July I was like, oh my god, like half of the year has gone by. Like it just made me feel like the year flew by faster than it does normally, because I knew exactly what percentage of the way through the year we were every month, because that's how far along I was in this piece, right? I'm like, ew, 55%, what? Okay, well, I think I'm gonna head out soon. My estimate was pretty accurate. It's been like 2 hours and 10 minutes ish since I started streaming. I thought it was gonna take me about 2 hours to finish, so that's kind of cool. Reading a chapter, yeah, exactly. Okay, but let me show you, I did a little bit of progress on Coulter the Fox, and he's almost done, and he's also very cute. So this is totally unrelated, but here's another little cross stitch I'm working on, and he's called Coulter the Fox, and he's so cute. Also, here's his girlfriend, Clementine. She's all done. Oh, let's do it this way. There's Clementine. Ah, I can't figure. So the camera's flipped upside down too. What cuties, I know. This is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery if you're interested. Yeah. She's so cute. I love stitching those little clementines. They are fun. Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery is really one of my faves. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out and chatting with me while I did that. It was a lot of fun. They are ornaments. Yes, they're ornaments, Jill. But I was thinking about maybe framing them in some, you know, those like small picture frames that you can get that are like on a hinge. Then it's sort of like his and hers. I don't know. I might frame them. Yeah. Loved hanging out with you. Aw, thanks. Cool. Yeah. But they are, I think they're designed as ornaments, so. But I can do whatever I want. It's my piece. Aw, thanks. Yeah, so that was like a Jingle Ball. These were Jingle Ball patterns, which is like a virtual cross-stitch retreat that I attended both this year and last year. So last year, these two were patterns at that. Here, I'll show you the back, Jill. Ooh. And this year, they have a little, like, their nephew. I can't remember the name of the little guy, but there's like a toddler fox for this year. Yeah. All right. Well, how about we do come in here. We'll say thanks again, everybody. And I don't know, I might do this again. I might stream again. It worked out, I thought. Nice meeting you too. Hopefully I'll see you again. Boo boo kite. Bye. Bye, Root. Bye, Jill. Bye, Mo. And bye anyone else who's watching. Bye. Love you.